Alright, y'all. You know, my definition, I guess you could say, of homesteading is not just having a garden and having animals, but it's being self-sufficient. And this is a simple project for some, but for some it may not be. I'm going to be replacing the injectors in my 1997 Jeep Cherokee. It's got the 4.0 straight 6 in it. There's a lot of videos specifically on that online, but I want to share with the homesteading community simply because it's about self-sufficiency. So don't ever be scared to take on task yourself, save some money. Don't pay somebody $200 or $300 to do something you could do in an hour in your front yard. So, and even if you're brand new, you've never done injectors, then so what? It takes you 4 hours, but you know what? You learned something new, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I've already disconnected my cables here for the throttle and cruise. I've got all three of those disconnected. Okay, we're gonna move those out the way. I've got to take this bracket here off. That's two 10mm bolts to hold it on. Once I've got that out of the way, then I'll address the next steps. Alright, I've got both of those broke loose, but let me address something relatively important. You want to make sure you use this valve here, kind of like a valve stem on a tire, straighter valve I think it's called. You want to compress that with a rag or a glass or something up under there, because fuel's going to come out, but that's what you want. You want to compress the system or decompress the system before you pull this fuel rail off. Otherwise you ain't going to be happy with the result. So just make sure you release that. We got to disconnect this fuel line. I've got they make a tool that's for that. They're not very much. You can buy a metal crappy one. In this case, in the rare case, I have found that the plastic ones work better than the metal ones that they've got. So I just use the plastic ones. They're color coded, but there's a safety. There we go. And that's all the tool is right there. Like I said, definitely go with the plastic ones. The metal ones, I feel like the quality control is just so low, they don't even make them thin enough to fit where they need to go in at to be able to unlock it. So you wrap it around it and you just squeeze it to you. There's my friend, the big rusty screwdriver. That's my big rusty screwdriver, y'all. You always got to have one of them in your box. Pretty sure it's that yellow one, yeah. It's definitely the yellow one. 5/16, I think it is. I'm not sure though. Continue on about what I'm doing. There we go. Be careful when you pull that off. You want to make sure that you don't get no trash in it, obviously, because the first thing, that's where your fuel is going to come from. So your brand new injectors, the first thing they're going to find is going to be trash. As soon as it comes through that line and through that rail, your brand new injectors, trash in it. Bam. Also, If you can't see in the video, I do have my negative battery terminal disconnected. Make sure you disconnect your battery anytime you're working on a vehicle. Alright, we got those three 10mm out of the bracket. Sit those over there out the way. Alright, so we left off on this fourth 10mm bolt that I didn't forget about it. I had never did this on this Jeep before. So it is a little new to me. It is pretty much the same process on any gasoline engine from this era. And that's one of them ones that's going to try to fall. So when you're taking that one out, do be careful, because it's in a cute spot where I can just tell it wants to fall and get lost somewhere in the great beyond. Alright, so that should be all of that. Now that's out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Of course, getting my hands disgusting, And for those of y'all that don't know, I did spend quite a bit of my working career as a mechanic, so I'm not scared to get a little grease on my hands. I've just done it enough times to know that throwing on a cheap pair of these gloves is easier than scrubbing my hands for 15 minutes when I get done, and I'm still smelling like gas and oil for 3 weeks. So you can do what you want, but I'm gonna wear gloves. Alright. Spin that over and out the way. Alright. Now this is the fuel rail. This is what we're after. That's where our injectors are, right up underneath that. So now we got to take that off. It looks like one of the bolts for it is already out. It was through the bracket. So there's 3 more to get out of the way. One of the other ones is part of another bracket back there at the back. I don't know what it's for, but bracket for something. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the lines running to them before I get too far into this. This specific year model, you squeeze and pull. Don't just try to pry them off there, you'll break them. Just squeeze the tabs on each side and pull. There's several different harnesses for these Jeeps depending on your year model. Some of them have a little red tab you slide up to unlock them. Some of them got a squeeze tab just on one side. These plugs here specifically have squeeze both sides up. There we go. And they're not like plug wires. You don't have to remember where they go, because they'll be right where they go when you put it all back together. Well, I think I found one of my rattles. If y'all got a Jeep, y'all know what I'm talking about. You're going to be chasing rattle and racket the rest of your life. Be ready for that. But this was pretty loose, so that bracket's been wiggling around. Pretty sure it's partially to blame. wire harness zip tied to it, but there's nothing. I guess it's just to keep it up away from the heat, because the heat and the intake's both on the same side of this engine here. It's one of the reasons a lot of people experience heat soak and overheating issues and stuff with them. But that's normal. These things normally run at 210 degrees. It's only 2 degrees below water's boiling temperature. So if you got plain water in there because you didn't want to spend, you know, the extra few bucks to put antifreeze in there, you probably gonna have some problems. But as long as you got your antifreeze mixture right, you'll be just fine. It's not just to keep it from getting too cold, it also keeps it from getting too hot and boiling. It increases the boiling temperature of your water. Deep water. I can't tell you right now what it increases it to, but you can go ahead and Google it. It increases it, and you know, it's still boil, but I think it's something like 220 or something like that. Check behind me. I don't know everything. I ain't never claimed to know everything, but I believe I'm right. And so far, the only wrench I've needed for this has been my 10mm. So, if you're wondering, you know, how many tools you need to be able to do it, I've done everything so far with just my 10mm socket and ratchet, other than a battery, which has got wing nuts on it. But a lot of batteries are 10mm too, so either way, you should be fine. And this some kind of odd bracket there. I don't like it a whole lot, but somebody put it there for a reason. Alright, I'm pretty certain I've got everything disconnected, y'all. I'm just looking around each one of these injectors right now before I pull them completely off, because I'd like to, you know, at least see any visible debris before I pull them off and it falls down in there. They all look pretty clean, so move y'all over here. Y'all up in the way. You can't hardly see from here, but anyway, I actually got one more bolt in there, so I'm glad I took the time to move it, because I'd have been snatching and jerking and all kind of mess on there trying to figure out why it wasn't coming off. I apologize if that's not a good angle, y'all, but it's just gonna have to do for now. Alright, now we got it all disconnected, and with a little bit of force, it should pull right on out. Maybe a lot of bit of force. I'm trying to balance on one leg too, so that's not helping a whole heck of a lot. But there we go. Alright. Now let's look at these few. Oh yeah. Look at them things. Alright. I'm dumping gas everywhere. Hold on. We got a little container. Alright. So after I make a mess with gasoline, there's the old injectors that are coming out. Looks like they've had better days. They ain't horrible, but there's a couple of them on there that look like they set Uncle a long time ago. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and replace them. While we're here, we're going to be putting 4-hole injectors in. That's going to give us better atomization of our fuel, which will give us better fuel mileage and a little bit better startup and a little bit more fuel response, but not so much. You're not building a race car here, so don't expect to get a race car out of your fuel injectors, but it is a nice upgrade. We left a few O-rings behind, So I'm gonna go back over with my pick. I think I see one of them right now, fell out right at the edge of the hole. But I'm gonna go over with my pick and get the other old oil rings out, and then we'll install the new fuel injectors. They got these little clips here you'll have to pull off, and then the injector, you'll wiggle and pull on it just like we just did with the rail, and it'll come out of there. Alright, now that I've not used my wife's vacuum cleaner to vacuum out the fuel rails, because my shop vac is way too big to fit in there, you won't ever get the hose down in there. Need something with a small crevice tool, but it'll be alright. Let's yeah, I think it's time to take out these old injectors and install the new ones. Like I said, you got these little clips here you gotta pull off of here. They're not too hard to get off of there. Just get you a pair of pliers and grab one and pull them off. You're gonna need them when you put the new ones in, so make sure you keep up with them. You don't want to be missing no parts or have no extra parts. I'm just gonna go through pulling all these off. Pretty bored process, but anyway. See, most of them come right off of there, just like that. Alright, so we got them off. Now, wiggle and pull. Maybe give it a little twist. Here I go without my gloves in, y'all. So y'all can see I'm a creature of habit. I'm not used to using these gloves, but I've got a point now where I think it's better to use them than not use them. Get gas all over your skin. Just don't make no damn sense. If you're trying to act like you're a man and you don't wear no gloves. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Now if I remember when I get done with this, y'all, I'll go ahead and give y'all a little better look at these injectors. Right now my main goal is to get them out and the new ones in, because this thing needs to be back drivable. This is another place you want to check behind yourself and get all the O-rings out, because every one of them but one has stayed stuck in there on me so far. And that one got stuck in there too, so 0 for 1, y'all. Where'd my hook go? Alright, yeah, this little hook, took them right on out of there. Alright, so we got all the old O-rings out of there. And we're going to take the new O-rings, and before we try to put them in, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of petroleum jelly on them. Brand new out the box, as you can see. much. Just enough to help you slide it in there without, and get this glove off of here. You just want to put enough on there to let you slide this in without, of course I'm going the wrong side first. Obviously you can wait to lube those other ones up until after you got it on the rail. But anyway, you're just putting this up there to keep from tearing the O-ring up when you put it in. As far as the direction that they go back in, it doesn't matter, because once you got it seated, you can spin it. Dos mas. I think that's how you say it in Spanish. Y'all didn't know I was fancy, did you? I know all kind of foreign words. You might as well just go on and call me Google Translate, matter of fact. Don't call me that, y'all. Y'all believe me. Y'all ain't met me yet. And these ain't nothing special, they're not Bosch. They were the highest rated ones on Amazon, if that means anything anymore. But they're not Bosch. About half the price of a set of new Bosch or rebuilt Bosch. This is the last one, y'all. And you see these rings up there. That'll give you a good idea if you got it pushed in all the way. You don't see them rings on any of the other ones, so that's got to go in that whole way till you don't see any of those rings. Just like that. And now we're going to put a little petroleum on all our injectors. Y'all make sure and leave a like and subscribe down there. That's all you got to do. It don't cost you a dime. You just click that little thumbs up button. Even if you don't like me. Like I said, it don't cost you nothing. Just play. If you don't like me, then watch somebody else's channel. Alright. Got all of those lubed up. And they should go in a little bit easier than they came out. Like I said, I didn't use my wife's vacuum to clean them out, so. And again, be mindful where them jets are at the end. Clog them up and mess them up. It's not hard to do either. Just a little scrape on the end of them nozzles. And, I mean, they still work. They're not going to work the same way they would if they didn't have the marring in the surface. Got them all lined up. Obviously you want to make sure you get this joker in there. You'll feel it click, kind of click into place like it just did. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but I heard it. And then obviously, you know, if you, where your bolts go, if that's not touching like it was before, then obviously it's not all the way back on. So, anyway, there's a fuel rail back installed. Let's get these bad boys plugged in, get it put back together, and then I'm gonna let y'all be here for the startup too. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one with the odd bracket back on there, and with the bracket, because I'd rather, you know, it's probably on there for some sort of reason, even though it's not obvious. Maybe it's there to keep that piece, just that harness itself. That's the second time I've dropped a nut or a bolt, y'all, and both times I've been blessed. The first time it fell right at my feet, that time it fell right on top of the intake manifold and sat right there. Life is peachy, I tell ya. Hey, Tom Tom. Crop will be getting tight any minute now. There we go. I guess I could take that off. Wasting my time, and I do have an impact, y'all, but I don't always feel like using it, especially when I'm working on something for the first time, because you break a bolt real quick, you won't be able to feel it. Just snap right off. That over there. I don't know why I thought that would go in as part of this bracket, but it does not. It's a humid day, y'all, so this rain ain't bothering me. I mean, it's obviously what's contributing to the humidity, but it feels nice on the skin. Just dropped another bolt. I guess I should have spun that around before. Put that back on. Well, sometimes these hoses can be dry and brittle. So you don't want to take them apart or bend them no more than you have to, but I may be able to come back around. Alright, y'all. Sometimes you just got to undo everything you did and redo it. Simple as that. I'd rather do that than break that part. Get another part I got to buy. See, that wasn't so bad. And I didn't break it. My mama would be proud of me. Pushing my luck, y'all. I guess I'm not pushing my luck. But y'all understand what I'm saying. I'll go again. Now I'm getting shaky. That happens when you get old, I've noticed. You start shaking. Don't know why, you just shake like it's a wall. I turned 40 this year, y'all. You're putting these screws in aluminum, remember that. And I need to go crazy. Trying to put 500-pound foot pounds on it, none of that craziness. And just snug it on down, so it's fine. I also put this fan shroud in here today, y'all. The one that was in here broke and was making a god awful noise. So I took it out. And it still ran alright, but every time you pop the hood, that fan blade right there, and for somebody that's not real good with their balance to begin with and already missing enough parts, the last thing I need to do is try to grab that and get my hand held up in there. Thank you. Alright, y'all. I didn't put a single one of these clips back on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe I did put one back on there. Oh, cut me some slack. I guess I am getting cut slack. But I am missing one, y'all. Let's see if I can get these back on without taking the paper apart. That'd be pretty cool. back on. Two back on. Three back on. The further we go back, the more aggravating it'll be. But I think I'll get them on there. I'll take everything back on. Go to moss. There I go again with them fancy words, y'all. Look at that. Another blessing. Alright, y'all. I believe that's everything back on there. I'm gonna hook this battery back up. As soon as I find that wing nut, I don't really want I guess I should have put it back on the battery first after I took it off. Y'all see it anywhere? Pocket. It's got to be around here somewhere, though. There it is. Alright, y'all, I'm going to have to cycle the key a few times, come back out and open that valve I was talking about over there. Guess I can move y'all back over here now. That straighter valve. Turn the key on. Actually, I'm going to leave y'all over there because you're going to be in the way. And I might want to reconnect my And if you're worried about getting these cables mixed up, just take a picture of it before you get started. You'll be good to go. Alright, y'all. What y'all think? You ready now to try to start it? Or are you ready now to end the video here? Just hit the key one time. I'm going to take my screwdriver, press this little tab back in. You hear that air come out of there? That's what you're trying to get rid of. Keep doing that until air stops coming out and gasoline starts coming out. Obviously, each time you want to turn the key back off. There we go. She's got pressure now, y'all. Or, I guess she's had pressure the whole time, but she's got fuel now. I'm gonna do it one more time because the little air did come out still. Yeah, she ought to be good now. Got a little puddle of gas down here. Go ahead and clean that up with a shop rag. And there's usually a cap on here, y'all. This one don't have one on there as of right now, but there is usually one on there. Anyway, there we go. See what happens. Like I said, she's gonna run a little rough because she don't know those injectors, and I forgot to even touch to disconnect the battery and do a little quick reset. So let me do that real quick. That way she can start off fresh, and it still may, you know, you may let it run for a little while, but she'll figure them out. Won't take long at all. We're going to disconnect those, and of course they ain't going to reach each other. I had to fix these battery terminals when I bought it, and they're not long enough to touch each other, so we're just going to disconnect it for a few seconds. Yeah. What's up, Jack? Yeah, they're not going to touch. Oh well. I don't think that it's a must. I've seen people do it without it. We shall see. Let's start it back up. Let that run for a few minutes. Thanks. Alright y'all, I want to thank you for watching. If I hadn't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. As you can see, well, you can't see because I'm on a dirt path now, but I just took a trip into town. She's smoothed out, running good now, and to be honest with you, it's a night and day difference. I'm glad I took the time to swap those out. It's a little more than a little, to be honest with you, more responsive. Feels like a new Jeep again almost. Now if I can get this suspension done over the next couple weeks, maybe I'll make a video of that too. I bought this Jeep, the suspension on it was pretty much shot, so I ordered a suspension kit for it, shocks and springs and such whatnot, and hopefully I'll be putting that on this weekend or sometime soon. That clunk noise that you hear, that's just the exhaust rattling up against the cross member. It ain't nothing. She's running good. Again, thanks for watching. I'm out.